So what is social protection? Well, it's a set of development policies and programs that reduce poverty and vulnerability. And there are four main approaches to this. The first is social assistance, which looks to support those in poverty. So this can include child grants, cash or food transfers, disability benefits, for example. Social insurance supports those who are vulnerable. They could be vulnerable to adverse personal circumstances such as illness, and we see social protection provided to those with HIV and AIDS, for example. Or it can also be provided to help with events that happen over your lifetime, so in your childhood, so you can have child grants, or in your retirements where we have pensions. The social insurance also helps with livelihood risks like a drought, where you could get crop insurance, or unemployment, where you could get unemployment benefits. A fourth area that's emerging is one around social justice. It involves all of the categories described already, and it involves thinking how social protection addresses the root causes of poverty and vulnerability in the first place. So why is it important? At the national level, those countries with social protection as a whole seem to be less poor. We see that both in developed and developing countries. But from a household level and individual level, we also see why it's important. Firstly, it's important with its most basic function to protect the lives of the poor. So if a shock or an event happens, social protection can help people stay alive. Secondly, though, it can prevent people from being destitute or from them using damaging coping strategies. It can do that if you provide insurance. But thirdly, it can promote people's livelihoods, so it gives people opportunities to invest or to take more risk that can improve their livelihoods. So how does social protection work? Well, let's look at the early years in the life of a child as an example. So before school, the child can receive a child grant. At school age, the child grant could provide money for the parents to buy the school uniform, without which the child would not be allowed to attend school. In school itself, the child can receive a free school meal, which helps them to concentrate with their schoolwork. And then back with the family, the child also has grandparents, which could also give some of their pensions to that grandchild. As experience shows from a number of countries, grandparents spend a significant amount of their pension to support children. If this child manages to do this, and if they then have a child themselves, the chances that that child will be born into poverty is reduced significantly, and that's how we can reduce poverty. So what we see from this are two important things to highlight. We see that social protection is often about supporting people now, and it's very visible. So transfers are a very good example of this. But social protection can also be invisible. It's running in the background in a way. We don't know it's there until we need it. So until you're unemployed, or until you need maternity cover, or until our rights have been infringed. So it's very much a short, medium and long-term agenda, but we have to give adequate attention to all of these.